What's up, guys? So you may be wondering why I have the flag behind me, and it's all related to a question that I got. And the question that I received is this. Someone wrote and said, "Hey Pick, I know you aren't a political channel in nature, but I'd like to ask you this question, mostly due to my personal experience. I was getting to know a few people on Reddit, and I thought it was really cool to get to know people that are spiritually like-minded. And a bit of the conversation led to them asking me about my political view, and at first I said I wasn't American. And then they asked a bit more, and I said I could be considered central, slightly leaning to the right from their political standpoint. And what does it say? And it was like I had just insulted the gods with how much of a shift they had. I'll summarize this and say that it all boiled down to them claiming that my faith in the gods would not like how right-wing I am. So I'm assuming this should say that I was not able to argue back and just left. So hoping you had advice for this, and I do." So I have a friend that is a Republican and a pagan. And guess what? I am still friends with her. And guess what else? She is the owner of a New Age pagan metaphysical shop. And she is a registered and voting Republican, very conservative in the United States. So you think to yourself, how? How can you be that way? Don't you know that the Republicans and conservatives are against this and that? That's the big argument that people who are against Republican pagans have. But I think that we would be shocked, the liberal, quote-unquote, pagans would be shocked to know how many conservative and Republican pagans there are in their own country. It doesn't make them any less pagan or devalue any of their practices. When it comes to Hellenic Polytheism, one of the best ways to practice Hellenic Polytheism is vote. Voting was a huge thing, and it still is, obviously, in Greece, but ancient Greece, is very political, and people put things with the vote. And guess what? There's a vote because people can't decide what's best for their land, their country, their people, so that's why there is a vote. And not everyone's going to think the same, feel the same, or vote the same, but guess what? They are going to still practice their religion and their spirituality probably just as much and very similar to how you do. Whether you watch a video of a conservative Hellenic Polytheist, a liberal Hellenic Polytheist, if you watched their daily rituals and their prayers, you probably couldn't tell the difference if they hadn't said what they believe politically. So I sympathize with people that are abandoned or lose friends just for their own personal beliefs when it comes to political things. And same for my friend that owns the New Age and pagan shop. She was telling me stories of the same thing, how she doesn't really put it out there that she's conservative because of the backlash she gets, especially from people. People quit being friends when they find out that you believe in this way or that way. So people who are saying you cannot be pagan and a conservative is just invalid, and just as invalid as a Christian saying you can't be a Christian and a Democrat.
You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. I don't care how mad that makes you.
There are pagans that are just as fanatical as that guy. So we should always just remember this, that everything happens in the universe at Zeus's approval. If you're a Hellenic Polytheist, then you know that nothing happens in the universe or in the community or this world without the nod and the approval of Zeus. And so not everyone is going to have the same beliefs. We all have free will, free thinking. Some are going to have the right way. Some are going to have the left way. You thought I was going to say the wrong way, didn't you? That's not what I was going to say. But I wanted to put that out there, guys. So the moral of the story is that don't be surprised if people disown you or don't want to be your friend anymore just because of the certain things you believe. They always say at work, the two things you don't want to talk about are religion and politics. And there's a reason why we don't like to bring those things up, because there's such a divisive nature behind it, especially nowadays. So those that lose you and leave you for being you and believing what you believe, like we tell little kids, they weren't your real friends. They weren't your friends at all. And probably better and best in your life that they are not your friends, that they would leave you for that. So I wouldn't really worry about it. So that's the moral of the story, and that's the advice I have, is that in reality, as an adult, I can see that not every pagan is liberal, just like not every Christian is conservative. It's just how it is in the world. It's not black and white.